What is up, guys? Kane here, and in this one, we're gonna talk about resistances for like the 30th time. However, in this one, we have 100 resistance finally on a unit. Now, what does this do? So, there were theories, and many people disregarded that no 99 resistances is cap, and a lot of people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're assuming everything, they don't know anything, and most people were those pretty much very old players who just wanted to, I suppose, stand out too much. So I've always said that above 99 resistances, as well as one of my buddies who also I think noticed it, and we even had topics and chats and stuff like that, that resistances above 99 also have an effect. How much, it's actually pretty friggin' hard to test, but we know that it had effect. And we didn't know whether or not this value would actually hit 100. What this does is that it actually approves the theory that resistances above 99 also work. Now, how much resistance do you need above 99 to probably hit 100? Now, if I would tell you straight up, likely the minimum and the maximum would be between 50 and 100% uncapped resistances. And uncapped means something like not heavily reduced by plenty of features, right? And features reduce it tremendously to the point that it's freaking crazy. So probably somewhere between 50 and 100%. Now, does that mean that if you get 100% resistance, your swordman is likely immune to all the magic damage? Now, that I am not entirely sure. For example, this fight in particular is against like two heavy krakens with decked out accounts. I'm not sure on their core power difference per se as well, but you have these Sylvani archers with HP percent damage. They're damaging the swordman. You have mages around here, which like area damage essentially should hit some of the swordmen, but as you can see, the swordmen are barely taking damage. Like they're being spammed on attack, and their healers are healing more than like the DPS are able to dish out. Like as you can see, Tisophin's dragons are doing negative damage or zero damage to the swordmen. So majority of that magic damage is pretty much just reduced to the point of nothingness. Probably it still does some percent damage. It's really hard to say because again, like this fight is between really high core people, but like these swordmen taking almost no damage whatsoever for an entire minute of Sylvani HP percent archers of Bursight being so close as well doing area damage, it's just pretty crazy. Personally, I think they still would take some magic damage, but kind of thinking about the difference that 98 resistance had versus 99 resistance versus even raising above 99, the differences are actually pretty friggin' huge. So I'm not entirely sure whether or not this person was incredibly weaker. I'm not entirely sure whether or not like this person didn't have anything proper and whatsoever. But I'm just pretty much going from actually like looking at the potential damage done and stuff like that. So for example, if Histisophin had better stuff, likely, or rather a DPS build, likely it would have done damage. But from what I see, there are not that many damage dealers. So for example, we have Avril. Avril has decent stuff. But in terms of the damage done, this person did almost none. So probably majority of the DPS were stunned and like denied or stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure. But again, we just check some of the DPS on like in terms of the swordman. and they were taking quite a bit less from a few sources. Now, again, as I said, I doubt that it's full 100% reduction, meaning they take zero magic damage or whatever. I still think they take some magic damage, but a lot of it is incredibly reduced, because from 98 to 99 is a very huge jump, and even raising above 99 is also sort of a huge jump. So from 99 to 100 is like a mega leap, to the point that you likely take 2 or 3 times less magic damage than you would be taking just reaching 99. So yeah, that is one theory proved that we kind of had, and a lot of people disproved, and they said we don't know what we're talking about, we just assume too much, we're just new players, we don't know what the frick, like, we're just on about. And most of those people are old players who played the game like 3-4 years, and they just assume so much that they just want to be noticed by the community. Personally, I don't assume too much, I just provide theories. Some of those are able to be tested, some are not able, but pretty much from what my, say, skill that I have, like attention to detail across just fighting the same people over and over, I noticed that resistances above 99 worked, and this kind of proves that it actually does. Now, there is a thing, of course, in terms of these resistances that I do have to let you know. So if you want to raise resistances further, you have to raise them properly. And how can you raise them properly? So we have to go into Covenant, where a lot of people do tend to literally screw up. And screw up to the point that they're wasting so much. So there is a person which I spoke to in one of the group chats, which had 90% plus reduced damage taken. So 90% reduced damage taken equals to 90% magic resistance and 90% physical resistance each. So that would be a total amount of like 180%. So we have to remember this number, total of 180%. So mine right now is 70% reduced damage taken, so 70 magic and 70 physical. However, I also have these. So 70 magic resistance plus 65 magic resistance is 135%. Then 70 plus 41 is 111%. Meaning, if we add those two together, this is over 245-46% resistance is total, versus 180 that somebody just fully went ham on reduced damage taken. So comparing to him and me, I have about, what, 60 to 65% more resistances overall, just from this feature. And just because going for one stat, you get so incredibly overcapped that it's just not really worth it. And to get these values, I only have what, 2 reduced magic, 1 physical, 3 reduced magic, 2 reduced physical, 4 reduced magic damage taken. So I have, I believe, 2 reduced physical damage and 4 reduced magic damage taken. Let me just quickly check again. So that's 1. That's 2. Reduce. Yes. So I have 4 reduced magic damage taken. And as you can see, it's getting capped. So I had about probably 85-90%, and it's 65. Whereas I had 2 physical damage resistance, and it barely was capped whatsoever. So there is a pretty huge difference in the values right here. So for example, if I would get 1 more reduced damage taken, like 20%, it would add me like 5% total, right? 5%. So that's 5 magic, 5 physical, equals to like 10. But if I use that 1 square and I add reduced physical damage taken, right? Then I would add about 15 plus percent to reduce physical damage taken, or like 12 or 13 or 14 or 15 depending on the caps, which I don't know how much they affect. But essentially, getting 3 of the physical resistance, 3 of the magic is usually also the way to go. Works for a few other features as well, and that's how you have to go about this sort of resistances. Now, there of course will be more features in the future which give resistances, but essentially just getting more resistance essentially means you're taking less damage, you're required to heal less damage, and worry about your frontline dying faster. Of course, there are a lot of other nuances and stuff like that, but again, this video is about resistances and pretty much proving my theory and my friend's theory as well, that the resistances above 99 also work, and of course they do. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the video. Hopefully you learned something new, and if you did, do hit that subscribe button. It would help me out a lot. Thanks for watching, and if you would wish to support me more than just watching my videos, I have made a Patreon page where you would be able to do just that, and in return I would be able to help you out more individually in terms of PvP, formations, events, and stuff like that. As well as I would like to thank all of my patrons for the support. I really appreciate it for your subscriptions. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Take care and stay safe out there.